Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, is someone who truly disrupted education. I actually know one of the founders, Andrew Ng, of Coursera, and we spoke a lot about it, how it changes education, what it makes to create better value. But actually, this all happened in the past. Now AI is actually building a completely new reality. So saying that, let me announce that we start deep discussions on AI from that moment on that stage. And I'm very happy to welcome Jeff, the CEO of Coursera, who couldn't make it to Sofia, unfortunately, but he will be with us virtually. Jeff, are you with me now?
I hear you great. I don't know if you can hear me okay.
Perfectly well. Hello, Jeff. Do you see us?
I do. Thank you. And by the way, part of our Coursera team is in Sofia. I've been there. I won good money at the casino there, and I wish I were there with you, but I'm happy to be here.
Jeff, we can always take your money here. Why didn't you come? Good to have you with us. Pleasure to have you here. And I'm so sorry you are not here in person, but actually, forget about taking your money. It's about building value. It's about creating value together. And definitely education is the key value. And the key value that we want to create further in the future by the paradigm of artificial intelligence. So how do you envision the role of AI, particularly the language models like ChatGPT, in shaping the future of education, Jeff?
Yeah, well, clearly they're going to have a huge impact. They're already starting to have an impact. I mean, our team has been kind of watching the large language models develop since the earlier versions of GPT-2 and BERT, and people were telling me, like, Jeff, you got to pay attention to this. And honestly, I'll be honest, it wasn't until ChatGPT came out in early December, and then I started using it myself, and I saw the power of GPT 3.5, and we immediately kind of convened a team at Coursera, but it's happening very, very quickly. So we've already built and launched a new learning assistant that we call Coursera Coach. And I won't go into all the technical details, but would be happy to if people are interested. But it's based on Azure OpenAI services. It's GPT 3.5 Turbo. And we're basically offering personalized and interactive learning assistance for learners in the courses. So basically, in any course that you're in on Coursera, you now have a personalized learning assistant who will help you understand videos, understand concepts, practice with questions, and even move towards career guidance, career coaching, trying to figure out what courses and what skills are the right things for your job. So,
Jeff, are these the specific featured capabilities that you think that AI, particularly generative AI, will do as a value to students who cannot get personalized guidance person in person, or who need to be somewhere in distance?
Yeah, we see sort of four major impacts of generative AI on Coursera. Number one is personalized learning assistance to every learner on Coursera to get personalized help in the courses. And as many of you probably know, it does a really good job with multi-language as well. So the ability for more people to get personalized access to interactive help, that's kind of number one. Number two is something we're calling Course Builder, which is the ability to use generative AI to create new content. And we're working on building tools. We're launching them in mid-July to our partners to help create content that is more timely, more relevant, more hands-on and practical. Number three, we're using AI for language translation. So by the end of this year, we'll have over 2,000 courses translated into 7 languages. And I think shortly after that, we'll be able to translate all 6,000 courses into many languages, probably 10, 20, maybe 30 different languages. So I think language barriers will drop in the era of AI. And then finally, helping people learn how to use AI to do jobs differently, because AI is going to really transform many, many different jobs, starting with, my job as the CEO of Coursera.
Yes, indeed. That's what we're talking about today. And we are trying to get these 2,000 people, plus all of them who watch these videos online, prepared, being able to adapt, because you can only adapt to things that you know will happen. Otherwise, it's a last-minute adoption which could end up with a crash. But in your view, what's the role should be of the regulatory bodies when it comes to AI, establishing standards for guidelines for safe, for responsible implementation of AI, including in education? Imagine we are teaching kids something, not that we are not doing though, I mean history could be with different lenses, but some things that never exist. How about if AI takes over and teaches humans that they never existed 10,000 years ago, things like this.
Yeah. Well, so the way that we're implementing AI at Coursera, so I think there's kind of AI in education, and then there's kind of AI more broadly. In education, what we have decided, at least for now, we're not training new AI models at Coursera. We are basically using AI to provide personalized assistance and tutoring, if you will, on existing course material that's been created by humans. So it's like an AI teaching assistant, but the core content that is being taught is actually created by expert professors and industry leaders. So we are grounding the content in human expertise rather than AI expertise, but the AI is kind of like your personal assistant to teach it. So we feel pretty good about the way that we're using AI in terms of helping people learn, because it's grounded in the actual course content from experts. Where I think governments have a role to play, number one is obviously dealing with misinformation and highly biased information. So that's going to be tricky. I think institutions will have a role to play. The big thing that I focus on personally is, to what degree will AI either determine and make decisions on mission critical systems, whether those are energy systems, water systems, communication systems, or military systems. If AI is controlling those systems and either making the decisions as to how those systems operate and are deployed, or are deeply influencing humans using those systems, then we just need to be aware of the influence that AI could have on the decision-making controls of these systems. And so I think that's what we really need to focus on, is especially when AI either makes decisions or influences decisions on mission-critical systems, I think there's a role for regulation in those cases.
Well, obviously there is a big value in AI, but some argue that AI will lead to depersonalization of the whole educational process. How do you deal with that? What are the solutions that you see there? Is it good or bad also?
Well, what we're hoping for is a world where teachers continue to play the role that they do. And of course, the role of a teacher for someone who's 10 years old, where a lot of the learning is social learning, I certainly hope that AI does not take over the role of teaching young people how to interact in society and how to treat other people. I think that there's a real social element to learning that humans do better than technology. As you get older and you're an adult, I think more of the learning is conceptual and applied skills, not so much social. And so I think it's more suitable for adults. But I would say that the role of the teacher and the expert is really important. And what AI can do is to supplement those teachers to help personalize the instruction. For any of you who've been in college, many people have experienced TAs, teaching assistants. I see AI as a teaching assistant, but not necessarily the expert who actually has the anchor of expertise and knowledge. So hopefully AI can help people learn, but not necessarily be the de facto source of knowledge and skill training.
Obviously, the platforms change the patterns. The platforms made it a completely different experience, and now AI is doing the same. So what do you envision the future of AI in education is, and how do you see it being there, and when?
Yeah, I think the good news is I think it will dramatically reduce language barriers. So if most of business happens in English, I think there will be less of a disadvantage for people who speak English as a second language, or even people who don't speak English at all. So I think that it could really help level the language playing field because of translation. With respect to learning, I do think that we'll see, we already have it on Coursera, but I think others will also create it, and I'm glad for that. Personalized learning assistance. I think it will be very valuable there. I think that the ability for institutions to create more content and more timely content will also be very valuable. So, my view is that AI will really help increase accessibility to high quality, personalized, and interactive learning. And hopefully we can protect against AI that creates content that's not true, that misinforms with an intention to manipulate people. I think we need to make sure that we continue to teach critical thinking, because there's going to be more misinformation out there created by AI that will take advantage of people who do not use their critical thinking to really ask themselves, can I trust the information that's being given to me?
Jeff, thanks a million for being with us. I'm sorry you didn't make it to Sofia, but next time we see you around the world with Webit. Thank you so much. And you hear the applauses. By the way, this is not recorded. These are real people applauses. AI will do them, will enhance them later. Jeff, thanks a lot. Enjoy your day.